And we'd ask that you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The meeting will please come to order. Linda, do we have proof of posting in accordance with the Texas Government Code?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. At this time, we have public comments. Is anyone from the public that would like to make a comment? You have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Charles Morgan, representing citizens for environmental cleanup in Freestone County. I'd like to address the tax issue, one thing, and another is House Bill 1818 that we need your help in helping get it implemented properly. Now, I have given each of you some copies.
Mr. Morgan, could you hold a second? We have this on the agenda for today. Is this going to, are you going to talk about the same thing at this time?
I thought this might be the time you...
No, sir, we'll get to that when it's on the agenda time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any public comments? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to address the flooding that's going on out in the county. No bar ditches, and bar ditches that are there are full of limbs, trees, trash, like on 1220. And the water is running over into my neighbor's yard. Fortunately, I'm high enough, so I'm not affected, other than on the east side of my greenhouse. But it runs back through my neighbor's yard, floats his septic up. He's repaired it, and he's dug a ditch in the front because the road has a slight incline like this, and the bar ditch over here is full of stuff, tires, I guess whatever, I know it's overgrown. And the water flows, and then that street, and it goes behind those, I don't know, there's a lot of illegals living there, the water goes behind their place, out into the road, and now we've got a big pothole on 1171, which I don't know if Mike's aware of it or not, because I haven't had a chance to call you yet. But it's a continuous problem, especially with the type of rain that we're having, because there's not sufficient water ditches. The road inclines need to be checked, because that's what's forcing the water into some of the residential, the areas that are lower lying. Like I said, I'm not affected, but thank goodness. But the other people are. And also speeding. We've got people speeding out there. They think it's a straight road that they can do 80 on it. So can we get speed signs out there? And signs that they say trash, you dump the trash, it's 5 minutes or 5 or whatever. People are dumping trash like crazy out there. It stopped for a bit, and now it's back coming back. Beer cans, all kinds of stuff.
What road do you live on now?
1220 now. I've only lived for years and years. My father just moved out last year. 1220. Thankfully, it's quiet, and I would like to address something with the environmental issues from the low frequency noises. I had to move from my house in town, which I had planned anyway, but for 4 years, I cannot live in my house because of the frequency. If you're laying, you go to sleep and you're parallel, you're vibrating with that pipeline. You can feel your legs jumping. I have no other experience with any of this other than at my house because of the gas wells and the compression and the pipelines. Because they put pipelines right under people's houses without telling them. You come home and you find out you have now a pipeline. People have had to move. Starts with headaches, back pain. Mine was leg jumping, headache. I felt my heart seize up. Fortunately, I know what to do for my health. But other people don't. They're going to go to the doctor and get all kinds of chemical toxins. So this really, and then you call the county, they say it's EPA's issue. Call it EPA. EPA says it's county's issue, that the laws are in effect. The county can make the regulations since it affects each individual county a little bit different. Some worse. The closer you are to these pipelines and the gas wells, the worse you have it. And the older are dropping dead from it, and they say, oh, old age. No, it isn't. They're suffering. And the babies, autism, all this other stuff. So like Mr. Morgan said, womb to tomb issues that need to be addressed, and only the county can address it. EPA won't. They say they've given provisions for you guys to do it.
Okay.
Can we get your name?
Thank you.
Oh, Marguerite Jordan.
Thank you. We'll go to, any other public comments? We will go to item number one. Item number one is to appoint a, pro term official. And I have a note here that, that was given to me that we need to appoint one for the rest of the year when the judge is not here, for the remainder of the year.
Wait, what's going to appoint Clyde Reed
I second.
for the rest of the year? For the
Rest of the year. I second.
term.
There's a motion and a second to appoint Clyde Ridge for the rest of the year. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, we'll go to item number two, which is to approve the minutes of the May 1st, 2019 regular meeting. Everybody have a copy of the minutes?
Yes. On number two, I don't know if it was in y'all's motion or your second. She brought up sending in a thank you notice, and she's already signed one, Debbie's wrote it in there to non-industry for making that, donating that. I don't know if that needs to be in the minutes or not, but we're sending that right, everybody.
Yes, we approved to do one, accepted the donation, and we had talked about doing a thank you letter. We finalized that today, and I'll get that in the mail.
Make a motion we approve the minutes of May 1st, 2019 regular meeting. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the May 1st, 2019 regular meeting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Budget transfers and amendments. We have, on the sheet that I have here, we have two.
I'll make a motion to approve both of them.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second to approve the budget transfers amendment. All in favor? Aye.
Who seconded it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion passed. Approve and pay bills.
I make a motion that we approve the pay bill.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve and pay bills. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Approved payroll. Do we have payroll?
Yes, sir.
Approved payroll.
Okay.
Y'all need to see, y'all have a copy of it?
Yeah, well, I signed, we signed it.
Right, correct.
make a motion that we approve payroll.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the payroll. All in favor, aye. Opposed, motion passed. We now go to item number 6, which is reports. Anyone have a report? I have several reports here. I have one from Aaron. Or do you want to give your report, or do you?
Nope, I just brought it in case
Okay, all right.
for you guys to look at. If you
I have
have
a report here
questions
from
for
the
me.
extension agent. And I have a report from the county treasurer. I have a report from the county clerk. I have a report from JP3. I have a report from senior services. I have a report from Lisa Fourier, the tax assessor collector. And that's all the reports that I have. Is there any others?
I make a motion that we approve the report.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reports. All in favor, aye. Motion passed. All these reports will be turned into the county clerk's office, and if you need to see them, anybody would like to see them, review them, go by there and take a look at them. We will now go to item number 7, which is burn ban. Pass. I hear you. Now we will go to item number 8, which is special road use agreements, contracts, permits, and bonds to consider notification of telephone construction. And we have some. Okay. Try to work this out. I think since the last time we were here, we've had some changes of some roads maybe, or some different things. Would you enlighten us on that, please, sir?
Yeah, we had some added the last time we were here. And the situation with this was Mr. Fowler had contacted me last week and said that they're gonna make County Road 946 a one-lane road, and that'll be impassable for semi-trucks and stuff. So to get to the pipeline right away, we asked the courts to put County Road 940 on the bond that's already been posted, and we will buy access from the 2 additional landowners at the end of County Road to access the pipeline right away.
Okay, so y'all will not be going down County Road 9. You will not be going down the one that you were originally going down. You'll be going down.
Once the construction is done by Mr. Fowler and the industrial park, they will still want to use County Road 946. So in your Mr. Daniels areas is 946, 940, and 945.
Clyde, can I say something? In regards to 946, the contractor that's building our new street in the industrial park, he's gonna hand pour the curve there at 946, right by Steve Partain's house. He's gonna leave one lane open at all times, but it's a 7-day curing process. After they pour one lane, it has to cure for 7 days, and they move over to the other. It will be passable for all the through traffic, the people that live there with no problem. They just didn't want the big trucks going down there and breaking that pavement down in that curve. And so this was the workaround. We were trying to see if these guys could use 940. It'll be about 16 days or so once they start before all that gets cleared up. So, but it won't affect people that live down 946. They'll have a way to go all the time during the construction. So, but the big trucks are going to be a problem in that curve, because of the turning radius and everything.
So y'all will be going down the next road over and then cutting across back over to your station over there.
It'll be going down 940 and then entering Sally Says property and James Sneed property and going north and south on the right of way.
Motion then to approve County Road 940 to be added to
and a second. All in favor, aye. Opposed? Motion passed. That's the only one that we need to approve. Is that the only one that we have to approve?
I'm hoping that did. I mean, I didn't plan on going back here today until Mr. Fowler called me last Thursday.
Oh, by the way, Clyde, I was gonna say, the city, I got asked the city of Fairfield, well, the city of Fairfield, he had to get a bond for their portion of those two roads that are in city limits, and he did. And the city of Fairfield also did what you did. They're putting both parts of the city road on that bond also.
Okay.
So I just for information purposes, they did that. Nate Smith, administrator.
Thank you. We will go to item number 10, discuss, reschedule or cancel May 15th Commissioners Court meeting.
With nine.
Approve, also, I marked it out. Okay. Number 9, approve bonds and educational tips to the county officials that employ. I do not have any in my folder. Does anybody have any bonds? I mean, yeah, education certificates, anything? I do not have any. Okay, we'll move to item number 10, discuss, reschedule, or cancel the May 15th Commissioners Court meeting.
Is anybody going to Brian? I need to reschedule.
So yeah, I mean, that's what we got to do. We need to reschedule or cancel it. Do we need to have it? I mean, is there?
I don't have payroll that.
We don't have payroll, we don't have bills.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to cancel the May 15th Commissioners Court meeting. All in favor, aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Item number 11 is to consider Liberty Tire for contract service agreements. And I have been told that we need to pass on that until we get maybe some more information.
$12.95. We got the contract, but we didn't get the $12.95.
Until we get to $12.95.
Who are they? I mean.
They're the ones that pick up the tires at the new transfer
Oh,
station.
okay, yeah, all right. We're hoping somebody won't fix flats on the road.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have a motion to table it?
I'll make it.
I second.
We have a motion to table the Liberty Tire contract service agreement. And we'll put that back on the agenda when we get that $12.95.
Right.
Thank you. Number 12 is,
Did we vote? Excuse me, did we vote?
all in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Yes, ma'am, so getting ahead of myself there.
Okay.
Trying to get it done. Number 12, discuss impact of gas facilities on tax rate. Mr. Moore?
Good morning, Commissioners. In 2009, myself and two other individuals requested tax reduction because of nearness of compressor stations to the property and the value, property devalued. Okay? And that was not advertised very much at all. And so I wrote a letter to the editor this year, May 2nd, letting people know that that's still in effect. By the taxing authority, they said, yeah, it's still in effect. So if all people who live near a compressor station, there's 130 of these compressor stations in Freestone County, and there's a map in one of the handouts here that shows where they all are. You get the handout there. This is Freestone County. There's green dots, yellow dots, red dots, and each one of these is a compressor station. Just this color is different colors. Okay? And 130 of those are Freestone County. And most of these facilities can travel 5 to 8 miles. A low frequency noise that most people can't hear. I'm one of 5% that can hear it. When you hear it, knowledge is still effective. If these folks around these facilities request if you're a quarter mile or less, you get a 40% tax reduction on your property. And all the way down to when you're a mile away, 10% reduction. So that's going to be a tremendous amount of tax reduction for people who are not going to be paying those taxes in your coffers. And so you're going to have to increase the tax rate or something. And there are something, is what I would suggest, is these folks who own these compressor stations and pipelines coming through, we need to tax them with a nuisance tax. And a nuisance tax should be equal to what it would take to fix that facility. And to fix that facility, they've got to put a barricade, noise barricade, around the facility. Now, up around Arlington, where there's a compressor station in town, they had to do that. But if they're out in the county, there was no law. But now there is a law. And that's House Bill 1818, that I got 3 pages in here that shows that issue. So we're going to have a big tax reduction for property value, but who's causing that? The oil and gas business is causing that because of their noise emissions they're putting out. And it's affecting people's health. Ms. Jordan mentioned earlier, it's happening all over this county and has been for 10 years. I'm still alive only because I get up and leave my home whatever time they run me out of my house at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. This morning it was 6, and you've got to go someplace else. And I usually go out of the county up to Leon County or over to Palestine. So it's not just a tax issue, it's also a health issue. It's a implementation of House Bill 1818 issue. It's not being probably done by the Railroad Commission. So anyway, this is affecting us in many, many ways. But I'm addressing the tax issue because we're going to have to do something to get taxes coming back in. And I think it should be a nuisance tax. Well, it certainly is more than a nuisance, but that's what you could call it. And with the tax that we give them each year, let's say we would make them pay for their barrier around their place, they would pay for it in taxes. And if they don't want to do that, then they put a barrier up. And they can certainly do that. They do it when they have to. So it's a major issue. And this was addressed to the Sunset Review Commission for the Railroad Commission, and I testified there concerning these issues. And as a result, the chairman of that committee initiated House Bill 1818 to do something to protect us. And in this staple handout here, I have a copy of that. Yeah, a copy of House Bill 1818, the first 3 pages. Okay, on page 2 of that House bill, it says Oil and Gas Division Monitoring and Enforcement Strategic Plan. The Oil and Gas Division of the Commission shall develop and publish an annual plan for each state fiscal year to use the oil and gas monitoring and enforcement resources of the Commission strategically to ensure public safety and protect the environment. Now, that doesn't specifically address noise, but it's to address many things. It's why it's as general as it is. And so I've testified before the Railroad Commission and saying you need to implement this bill properly. And they're not doing that. And they refuse to do that. And the chairman of the Railroad Commission got $3 million from oil and gas for her re-election campaign this past election. So she's not doing anything to help us. So what can we do? Write a letter to the governor and ask him to have the Attorney General of Texas to make a reading on whether noise is included or not. He needs to make a decision on that. And that will help us and every other county in Texas. So it's more than one issue. We need to do a tax bill. We need to write a letter to the governor asking him, and he's one of the few people who can request a reading from the Attorney General of Texas. And I left a letter here to the county judges. I love this package I gave you. addresses the noise issue and also the House bill not properly being implemented. I said, we must request an opinion from the Texas Attorney General for an opinion as to whether controlled noise from oil and gas facilities must be addressed in the Railroad Commission's annual plan to protect the public safety. This will allow proper implementation of House Bill 1818. So we've got some action to take to protect our people. And this letter didn't just go to Judge Grant. It went to 27 judges, and those 27 counties that have more than 1,000 gas wells. One county out west, as Webb County, has 5,000 gas wells. Here in Freestone County, we have 3,058 gas wells. We are number 7 out of 254 counties. We have a very bad issue that needs to be addressed to protect our people. And it's more and more, I'm hearing more and more people every day having some problems, and our doctors don't have a clue what's going on. And I've had to educate my doctor, Dr. White, my heart doctor over in Palestine. He says, you have really enlightened me, because this is just not well known. It's not even being addressed by the medical organizations to train our doctors in this issue. But yet I've got data in here on my attachment. There's 2 of them. Let's see which one they were. Put it back. 12th International Conference on Sound and Vibration. This is in 2005. And I found this a big symposium held in Lions France where different organizations and medical facilities and the Lisbon, Portugal Human Development Center had done research on people who had died from the noise and all kinds of issues and the clinical stages of vibroacoustic disease for health professionals. So this has been presented around the world. Also in Australia, they had a big conference. The United States was not represented at any of those. Nobody studied this in the United States. It's just a horrible thing to ignore because it's so vast and worldwide. And these 2 handouts here give you just a smattering of what some of these symptoms are. I was diagnosed with the initial vibroacoustic disease because I'm so affected by that compressor station near us. I didn't know to get out and run for a long time. In 2007, after 3 days of very intense low frequency noise, I didn't have a meter at that time, I didn't know what it was. Went to the emergency room, I was shaking uncontrollably, sick in my stomach, my head about to pop off the top. I go over here to the doctor in the emergency room, and everything is normal. I'm out of the noise, everything went back to normal. He says, since your head was hurting so badly, let's do a CAT scan. Okay. An hour later, he calls me into his office. He says, here's a cutaway section of your brain. I said, what's that big black spot there? He says, that's brain damage. A lot of prayer. It's gone. Only because I had to escape to get out of this stuff every day. Our people are being harmed every day. And when there's 2 children in this county who had brain damage in utero, and it's happening all over Fort Worth. The 2 children here, I talked to my mother. I said, when was it he was in utero? And where do y'all live? She said, right over here in the Thousand Oaks subdivision. I said, I happen to be at a ballpark over there, close to that subdivision. Took my granddaughter over there for baseball practice. I had to leave because my head hurt so bad and go over to Brookshire's until the practice was over and come back and pick her up. So that tells me that this child had the same thing, I bet you. Okay? Because it's so prevalent. It's just a very, very serious issue that we've got to address. So I appreciate you guys if you consider writing a letter to the governor, because he's one of those who can ask a reading from the Attorney General. Write him a letter saying, we request you get a reading on this. It'll help everybody in the state of Texas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
from the Commissioners Court members?
Break the sunshine. Driveway and sunshine.
I want to address County Road 1200, this is my precinct. I think one of the problems that we're having out there, just last week, we did fix the entire road of 1171.
That's what
Fix it
I'm
all.
there's some potholes all over again. Because of the rain, because the way it's coming off that one property.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's lifting the road up.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying, we did come out and fix it two times. We did come out and fix it.
You
And I
guys
was
are
a
always
little
going out and fixing.
I'm a little surprised that it came back that quick. But the problem is that since I've been in office that I studied, all of you sit in the low area. So all the water from back up 1171 and back on this end of 71, it all comes to that low area. So that's the reason all those people in that low-lying area is flooding out down there. Now, the water is trying to run across the road, which we don't have culverts that run across the road, to run down to the end of the road, which a man's house sit right in the middle of that, where all that water would have to go to. And then we have to come up with some type of way of diverting that water instead of running directly into his house around to try to find a creek for it to go into. Whoever developed that was poor development. That we are trying to figure out how to resolve that issue out there, but it is a serious issue. One of the things that if we resolve it, that means that everyone would have to buy culverts to go in. Every neighbor out
At
there.
one time, so we tore them all out.
Yeah.
Because I've owned my property out there since '98.
I'm just saying that we have been looking at that issue. We are working on that issue, trying to resolve that issue out there. And I am very aware of that. And we will be as soon as the weather
Well, I think
permits.
some of the problems with the road too is there's some big rigs coming through and they're loosening that road, so when the rain does come, it just wipes it right out. Because there's a.
We don't have this on, we don't have this road specifically on the agenda. If we don't like to put it on there to talk about it, we'll be glad to talk about it. But at this time, it was, you know, it's just commissioner comments only. Anybody else have any?
And what about our boat? To get it back?
It's fixed, it's ready to go right now.
Maybe.
Everything is good, yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
We got a few departments going to Swiftwater training tomorrow through the weekend, and we've got them periodically through the month of May, June, July, and August going to be going, so.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. We're adjourned.